Hello again, welcome to Gym Bike Riders channel. This is my third vlog and today we're going to talk about the secondary cooking system that I'll be taking north with me. My first choice will be the Trangia Kelly kettle, however it might rain. I may have a day of rain, I may have a couple of days of rain, and if that happens then everything that I want to burn in the Kelly kettle to boil my water, to cook my food, is going to be too wet to burn. So I'll need a secondary system. And I've decided to take my military Trangia. Now this is, it's not British. I wish to goodness we did have something like this. This is the Swedish military Trangia. And just like the Kelly kettle, this system is absolutely fantastic. When I first joined the army, had mess tins, and that was back in 1975. I don't know what they have today, but right when I left in 1986, no, 74, 86, we had mess tins. That's what we had, 2 mess tins. You come together, seal them, put the handle down forward and put them in your kit. And the one thing you learnt was never to use them. The problem with using mess tins is that they got dirty, they got stained, and if you were in a little bit of trouble, then they'd use any excuse to have a go at you. And especially our number ones, they'd always pick up your mess tins, and these are filthy, sort them out, they'd throw them. So there was always that little problem, but I wish to goodness we had this, the military Trangia. Here we have the British Army, one of the most powerful in the world and one of the best trained, and yet they had mess tins, and the Swedish Army had this little baby, the military Trangia. Now I'm going to separate it to show you what it's like. First of all, I'm holding on to the Trangia itself, and I'm going to pull on this. The windshield and Trangia will separate. This is the windshield. As you can see on the inside, there are legs. They extend outwards and upwards. And there's a reason for that, which I will go into in a moment. Now, the Trangia itself is quite easy to open now. You have the top, which is like a very small pot. I still called it a cup, everyone else calls it a pot. But it is basically, you can drink from it. I used to make tea in it. I've made tea in it, I made coffee in it, drank water from it. It's basically a small pot, small cup. Take that to one side a second, and this is the central cooking pot. You can put inside here, shall we say, soup. Let's just say we pour soup in there. And how you cook it is you get out the smallest stove in the world, well, one of them, and this is the Trangia itself, the cooker. This is the hub, this is the base, this is the little power thing. This does the cooking. It has 2 tops to it. This is a sealing top to make sure you don't lose any liquid, but it's empty at the moment. But inside there you put methylated spirits. You fill it, shall we say, 3/4 of the way. Some people add water. A spoonful, maybe a teaspoonful or tablespoonful, I do not know, but they say add water and it stops the sooting when you're cooking. I don't care, I just burn it neat and just give it a good clean. But anyway, you put that down on the ground after cleaning the area and getting everything away, the twigs and anything that can catch fire, and you set fire to it. Once you get the flame perfect, you can put on top the windshield. Once the windshield, I'll just move in front so you can see it. Once the windshield is over it, you'll have no interference from the wind at all, and the flames just come up. Then you can put on top then your kettle, or rather the pot, the main pot. Now, a neat thing about the military Trangia is this little gadget here. The handle has a main handle hole, this little slot here, and you notice it can lift up. You can put this over a branch and you can cook it off a naked flame over a fire, and that'll work. But why did they have this one? What's this for? And the reason is, once you move it into that location, you push down the handle and you feed it through there. And that allows you to lift it without spilling. Then you put that on and you start cooking. Put water on here and you've got yourself a nice brew. But if you don't want that, just say you're not interested, I'll just drink water. You could put a bit of oil in there and just cook some bacon and give yourself a bacon sandwich whilst this is cooking. It's a multiple cooking sauce. You can do anything you want with it. You can cook sausages in there, bacon in there. You can put potatoes in there. You can cut potatoes up and turn in chips in there. I've done chips in this. You can do anything. You're limited by what you can't think of using. That's all. You can do anything you want. Now, once everything is cooked, you take that off. You separate that by lifting this up like that, and it will not spill because the handle is like that. Then you take off the windshield, you douse the flame, you wait for that to cool down. Once it's really cold, then you put on the sealing ring. And it's very important that you wait for it to be cold, is because inside the locking cap here, in the screw cap, you've got a rubber band that keeps everything on the inside. It doesn't stop, it stops all spillages. And you don't want that damaged. If it gets eaten away, you may as well throw it. So at the end of the day, once it's cold, you put this on, screw it down tight. It won't leak, perfect. Put the second cap on, put it back in the bag. And the reason you always take a bag with you is because if you do happen to have spillage, it goes in there and not in there. You put that inside there. You take this out, take this off, like so. Put that there, close it down, bring up the windshield, close that off again, like so, to make sure, and put that inside there. That's what I'm taking with me north as a backup system. And as you can see, the military Trangia is an absolute fantastic second system to have, just in case you can't use the first. Thank you very much for watching my third installment. I'm very grateful to you. Goodbye.